Hey folks, Nick here with Megabass of America. I want to talk to you about jerkbait fishing. You know, I've been fishing jerkbaits for over 20 years. And, you know, my romance with jerkbaits has been because there are so many different ways that you can fish it, so many different colors, so many different cadences. And that's kind of what got me. You can really dial in on a certain pattern with a jerkbait, with color, action, how fast you move it, all that jazz. So, you know, the one thing, how I go about picking my jerkbaits and colors and all that stuff comes down to a few key components without getting too crazy about it. But the first thing I think about is depth. So for example, if I'm fishing shallow water, you know, inside of 7 feet, you know, I'm going to go to a 110. So you see it's got a short bill. You know, it's going to dive down to maybe 5-6 feet maximum. Now on the flip side, if I'm fishing edges, I'm going to go to a 110 plus 1. So you see that bill is a lot longer. So now that gets me down a little bit deeper. In certain situations when you're fishing edges, that extra foot or two can make a huge difference. People don't realize that getting that bait down another foot can be the difference of catching, say, 6, 7, 8, 10, 15 fish to catching none. You'll get them to follow up and they kind of just don't want to get up that high and they get back down. So again, that's the thing about jerkbaits that really got me, is that it's giving me signals throughout the day of what's going on. For example, if I make a couple casts and I get a fish to follow up and he just doesn't want to commit to it, then I know I'm doing something wrong. So I'm going to change the color, you know, change my cadence, go faster or slower. Now, with all that information, the next twist is we came out with this 110 silent. So the difference is our traditional one has beads and it has a weight transfer system. So you can see that big tungsten weight is rolling in back and forth. Well, that makes a lot of noise in the water, and that could be good in some instances. But on those days where, you know, maybe it's flat, calm water or the fish are just off, you know, we've come in with a silent bait. So again, no weight transfer system. It's a fixed system and no beads. So you can hear this. Yeah, you can't hear it at all. And that would be great, again, on those calm days or days that the fish are just off. That bait is still going to have the same great action, darting action, still nose down, but now without the noise, it's going to appear more natural to the fish and get those fish that are maybe, you know, again, neutral or off or just spooked because there's a lot of activity going on in the water. So it gives you another twist. You know, I was saying this before. I was out on the water one day doing some filming, and what I noticed when I got back home and checked out the video is how much noise that bait made in the water, and it right away sparked up something, thinking, you know, on those certain days where the fish are just off, you can see how maybe they'll come and follow and just that noise turns them off. This bait will get them. So it's not like this bait is always going to catch them. It just gives you another variance, another bait to use. And that's what I was saying when it comes to jerkbaits. The reason that I've really fell in love with jerkbaits is because I can fine tune my pattern right down to the you know, to that 1% that really starts to catch them. I can't tell you how many times it's just a switch of a color or a switch of a cadence or a switch of, you know, getting something that goes either deeper or shallower that all of a sudden turns your day, you know, an average day into a great day. So again, you know, there's so many different things. The best way to do it when you're jerkbait fishing is just get on the water and just throw a bunch of different things, a bunch of different colors, you know, try different cadences, and you're going to see how fish are going to react totally different to different baits. So again, you know, Megabass has been the monster in jerk baits, hard baits, and these 110s are a 1-2 punch. You cannot go without. 110 plus 1, 110 and a 110 silent. You're going to catch them. It's going to happen on one of those 3 baits.